So you want to have a threesome to spice things up in your relationship? Or maybe you're single and you want to live this incredible, hot, steamy experience with two equally amazing people. What else is new? Pretty much everyone around you is also fantasizing about having a threesome, including myself, all right? But why? Why is it that this incredible, hot, steamy, sexy scenario is so popular? Well, research done by sex researcher Dr. Justin Lemiller found that threesomes are the most common sexual fantasy. He surveyed over 4,000 Americans and found that 95% of men and 87% of women fantasized about having sex with multiple partners. Now, I get it, all right? The threesome fantasy comes with novelty, exploration, a new level of shared adventure, and I feel like I have a little bit of wisdom to share in this area. You know, I've had a threesome or two, maybe more, back in the day. So I have a little bit of expertise in the area, and I've actually done a lot of videos on this topic on my channel, and I'll link a few of those at the end of this video if you want to check them out. But I can tell you from navigating these experiences myself as a unicorn and being in a couple, that a threesome, when done right with the right people and the right circumstances, can be magical. Now, what kind of threesome are you longing for? Because there are different types, all right? There are MMF, FFM, MFM, FMF. There are a lot of letters, abbreviations, and labels, and it's easy to get lost in the sauce, all right? Just to give you an example, MMF stands for male, male, female. And in this context, you would probably have maybe two bisexual men or two men that are being physical together during the act. Whereas MFM, see a little F in the middle of the two M's there, you could potentially have two heterosexual men that are not touching each other at all during the act. And same applies for the equal equivalence of the female versions, all right? For the sake of this video, I'm gonna focus on FFM and MFM because those seem to be the two most popular categories searched for on apps. Again, depending what kind of app that you're on. But generally speaking, I'm also just talking about like three horny people, all right? Three horny people. Now, in my personal experience, all right, I just want to preface that I've only had experience with FFM. So only being with another female, either as a unicorn or with my partner. And I've never experienced MFM, so being with two men at the same time. There are reasons for that, and I'm going to get to that later on in this video, so stay tuned. Now, if you're new to my channel, I just want to say a quick hello. My name's Ali, welcome. And on this platform, we have some casual conversations about sex, relationships, and other fun stuff as I navigate life as a sex education student and learning a whole bunch of new stuff that I love sharing with you all. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the common dynamics, the potential challenges, and the beautiful possibilities when it comes to FFM and MMF threesomes. First up, let's talk about MFM, so male, female, male threesomes. All right, now research shows that MFM threesomes might be becoming more common. This doesn't surprise me because we are coming into an era where people are a little bit more open-minded sexually and a little bit more sexually fluid. Now, before I continue into the sexy positives of what an MFM dynamic can bring you, I just want to say that if you are watching this video hoping to have a threesome, but you're not quite ready to dive head on into it, or maybe your partner isn't ready to get up in all that and invite a third into your partnership, totally okay, but you want to explore different ways that you can spice things up in the bedroom, there exists so many resources to help you with that. And one of those is Beducated, which is the #1 online platform for sexual wellness and education. They have over 150 courses and things you didn't even know they made courses about. I'm talking about video tutorials with real people, real nudity, real demonstration that show you exactly what you need to do for what you want to try. These courses are led by some of the world's most renowned sexperts. And as I said, if you're not ready to, jump in on the whole threesome thing, you can explore different kinds of courses like erotic massages, different sex positions. You could even get some guides for BDSM, Tantra, or kink if you're interested in exploring those things. This is the perfect resource for couples who want to invest in their intimacy from the privacy of their own home. I always say on all my videos, stay open and stay curious. So if you want to learn something new, you can check out the link below this video and use my code Imperiali because Beducated is giving my audience 60% off the yearly subscription, which is a lot more than what they usually give. And if, you check it out and you're like, man, this isn't actually what I want, then they have a 14-day money back guarantee. So pas de stress, no stress. A little learning never hurt anybody. So if you want to learn some new skills today that will potentially help you in your intimate life, either with your partner or on your own, then I definitely suggest you give Beducated a little browse and check out some of the awesome, spicy content they have. All right, so for MFM experience, some of the positives are that a woman experiencing this, being with two men, can be incredibly empowering. She is often the central focus of the attention, which can be a big turn on. Also, research done by Dr. Ryan Scotes have found that women in these scenarios derive pleasure from watching two men interact sexually, describing it as quite hot. And honestly, I get it, all right. Look, when it comes to porn, I haven't been known to look up bisexual men or gay men or anything like that. It's never really on my feed or on my radar, but one time I did come across a threesome, a bisexual male threesome, so MMF, male, male, female, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a watch. And to my surprise, I really enjoyed it. Now, when it comes to the men, if they are already in a couple, adding a third can add a new level of excitement. And it can be a way to explore and enhance your intimacy as a couple. Also, the increasing acceptance of sexual fluidity in today's age has made it easier for some straight identifying men to participate in MFM scenarios without it necessarily altering their sexual identity. Now, this is a big one when it comes to the whole double standards thing, which I'm going to get into in a second. So, when we start diving into the challenges, one of them is for straight men in this scenario, it can add a level of discomfort or anxiety being in a sexual situation with another man. I mean, speaking from my own personal experience, my partner has always said, nope, I don't want to be in a threesome with another guy. The whole machismo thing. I think he's more open to it nowadays. And if it was something that was really, really important to me, then maybe he would be more open to exploring it. But I also wouldn't want to do something that he was super against doing. But I also am not really interested in having an MFM threesome. So he's lucky for that. It's not something I really want to do. But that being said, I understand that there is the whole double standard, which is why these situations require a lot of communication and a lot of boundary setting. Even if a guy is super gung-ho about having a threesome with another girl and his girlfriend, but not being with another guy, important for everyone to feel safe and respected. So there's that whole thing. Another potential hurdle is making sure that the woman doesn't feel like an object. So it is vital that her pleasure and comfort are prioritized, and that she is an active and enthusiastic participant whose desires are being met. Oftentimes you'll watch in porn some of these MFM threesomes, and the girl doesn't look like she's having a lot of fun. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna do a video one day analyzing what porn displays in terms of threesomes and how threesomes are in real life, because it is very different. I think I'll save that for a later video because that could be kind of fun to experiment with a little bit. All right, now we are going to switch gears to MFF or FFM, so female, female, male threesomes, which is perhaps the more traditionally depicted threesome in popular media. And the one that, heterosexual men fantasize most about. And also the one that I have the most experience with. Because I get it, all right? It is hot as shit to watch two women be intimate together. I particularly really enjoy it. And for a guy, I can imagine it's really incredible to be sandwiched between two beautiful women. Who wouldn't want that? Women's bodies are beautiful. Sorry guys, but now I'm going off a tangent here, but I particularly enjoy staring at women's bodies more than I do staring at men's bodies. Now, for some of the sexy positives, the female-female-male threesome can be a wonderful opportunity to explore sexuality with another woman, perhaps even for the first time. Dr. Lameller found that women seem to fantasize a lot more about same-sex experiences than men do. So this kind of threesome can be a great way to safely explore that bi-curiosity. It can also lead to a deeper bond and shared intimate moment between the women. And I can attest to this. When I first started wanting to explore being with women, I absolutely wanted to do it with my partner. If you are curious to know more about my personal experiences with a little bit more exclusive details, you could check out my Patreon. I share a lot more information on there about my threesome experiences, how great they were, what I learned, what was awkward and funny and silly about them. But yeah, I can tell you for certain that I really, really enjoy being with another woman in a threesome context. I have never been with a woman outside of that. And there's just something really special about kissing a woman. And if you're a guy watching this, you probably won't understand, but it's soft, it's delicate, it's intimate, it's sensual, and I could do it forever. Now, some challenges that the MFF, male, female threesome can have is that it can be potentially a sensory overload for the man, all right? And he could put a lot of performance pressure and anxiety on himself because let's be honest, the whole thing of trying to please 2 women at once, it's a lot. Yeah, it can happen, you know? Speaking from personal experience again, the first threesome I ever had with my partner, he had a little trouble getting it up. But when that happens, and it very well might happen to you, you just gotta forget it. Don't stress about it. You gotta laugh about it. It is what it is. It doesn't mean that you're not aroused or that you're not enjoying the moment. So you just gotta relax and have fun with it, all right? And this is, again, going back to what you see in porn, very different from real life, you know? Because there are so many other things you can do, like without an erect penis in a threesome, okay? Which brings me to my next point, which is a potential downfall is that, you know, the focus can be on the man with the 2 women potentially not interacting together. And once again, porn depicts this, okay? However, in my personal experience, it's not about the guy. Probably the most important secret sauce to a successful threesome for myself is that the 2 women connect, and it's about their shared experience. And yes, when you have a threesome, you want everyone to be involved and it's equal and it's balanced and so on. But to be honest, if the 2 women aren't connecting that well, like I personally don't think it's going to be a very nice experience. And if any guy is lucky enough to be in a room with 2 women who are getting it on, just sit back and enjoy the show. You know what I mean? Like we'll invite you over when we're ready for you, okay? When we're ready to invite you to share some of the experience that is going on. But personally for me, I don't think I ever really have to worry about like the man being the sole focus because it always really is about the shared experience between the 2 women, sharing that with the man. And you know, of course, at some point we will work together to make him feel like a king. I also like to do that too. I guess this video is more based on my personal experiences and judgments and biases than generally speaking, but I think you can get a lot of value from someone's personal experiences, which is why I like to share a lot of mine. So yes, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that everyone is having a good time. But doesn't mean that everyone always has to be participating actively. These are things that you need to communicate among the threesome. But I feel like now I'm going on a tangent and this is a separate video for things to do and not to do when you're actually in the threesome. In this video, I really just wanted to talk about the potential different dynamics, challenges, and beautiful possibilities when it comes to mixed gender threesomes. So you get a little bit of an idea of what they are and how I interpret them in my own experiences. So I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are. Have you experienced both dynamics? How did they go? What were the differences? What were the challenges? What were the beautiful outcomes of that? And again, if you are interested in spicing up your relationship, but you're not ready to jump into the threesome and add another third, because I know that it can be intimidating sometimes. There are so many other amazing things that you could do for yourself and for your partnership, and that is by learning. So joining a online resource like Beducated, where you have access to their giant library. Again, use my code Imperiale to get 60% off their yearly subscription. And don't forget about that 14-day money-back guarantee, okay? Because if you try it and you like it, amazing. If you don't like it, you can ask for your money back, but at least you will have said that you tried something new, and that is the important thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you want to get to know me a little bit more, you can click on the link for my Patreon below, and I will see you in the next video. Je vous aime.